My sermon today is Always Look for the Rainbow, and I'll be referring to the story of Noah. And the story of Noah is found in Genesis chapters 6, 7, 8, and 9. So for the first 4 days this week, I'll be encouraging you to read each of those chapters to get a grasp of the story of Noah and the flow of what happens. My verse for today is Genesis chapter 6, verse 5, which really kicks it off. The Lord saw that the wickedness of humankind was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of their hearts was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made humankind on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. When I read about how God feels in this passage, it reminds me of a classic film, The Bridge on the River Kwai, which is a multiple Academy Award-winning film directed by the great David Lean, starring, among others, Alec Guinness and William Holden. And in the film, Alec Guinness's character, Colonel Nicholson, is a British colonel who, along with his officers and men, are in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. And while I don't want to give away the ending of the movie, suffice to say that at the very end, in the climax, Colonel Nicholson has a moment of awareness and shock and regret and remorse. And I often think that's how God seems to feel here in Genesis 6 in having created human beings. God had created humanity in the image of God. God had created humanity to be in relationship with God. And yet, because of Adam and Eve's disobedience, because of their failure to listen and to follow, sin had come into the world, and that sin is now tremendously present. And the idea that the wickedness of humankind was great in the earth, tragically, we can say the same thing today, can't we? We see it day after day, unrelentingly. And it also says that every inclination of the thoughts of their hearts was only evil continually. Hopefully that's not true of you and of me and of those of us who have given our lives to Christ and are filled with the Spirit and striving as best we can to live as faithful followers of Jesus. But tragically, there are many people whose hearts are just continually filled with evil and pursuing it. Some of these people, most of them, are anonymous. Some of them maybe even very powerful. And it's regrettable, and the Lord God is sorry, and he's grieved. And so he's going to make a decision about what is he going to do about this. And in Genesis 6, God makes a decision that because the earth is so corrupt and filled with violence, as it says in chapter 6, verse 11, that God's determined to make an end. He's going to wipe out every living creature, every human person, and start over with a small remnant that is Noah's family and 2 of every kind of animal that walks the earth. I pray as we close the devotion today that you might even think about taking a moment to confess in prayer today and just ask God to forgive you for your sin, to cleanse your heart and mind and spirit, and help you to live in holy and faithful obedience today.